Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Monday Zen and Zazen class. Today I will talk about Dogen's manual for Zazen. Maybe it's going to be the last time. I don't know. But before I start my talk, let's sit together for half an hour.
我们今天讲普圈坐禅仪，可能今天应该是最后一次了吧？一会儿老师说看教学程度啊，普圈坐禅仪也马上接近尾声了，马上就讲完了。然后我们前面还是30分钟坐禅，后面大家有问题也可以提啊。
Thank you for joining. So let's see how far I can get today. Let me share the screen. On the right side, as always, you have the classical Chinese original. On the left side, there's the English translation. Let me read the English. If you make one misstep, you stumble past what is directly in front of you. So Zazen, in short, means to return to the here and now, this one moment, the place where you are, to totally live this one person that you are. But most of the time we look for it somewhere else, or when we hear about the here and now, we think it must be some kind of mystical here and now somewhere. And that's what Dogen here calls taking a false step and stumble. You're always in the here and now, it's just you don't see it because you're looking for it somewhere else. When you hear, for example, Rinzai speak about the true man, the true person without rank, you think it must be some special person, that true person without rank. You are that person. It's just that when you try to grasp it, you look for it somewhere around the corner. That's when you stumble. If you make one misstep, you stumble past what is directly in front of you. You have gained the pivotal opportunity of human form, which here in the original is Kyo. The pivotal opportunity of human form. Basically what he's saying here is it's very difficult to find the Buddha way in hell because you're always suffering, and also difficult in heaven because you're so fine that you don't ask, who am I really, or why am I suffering? It's because you were born as a human being in this age where it's possible to meet the Buddha Dharma that you can practice. So use this opportunity. Use this opportunity being born as a human being in this age, having met the Buddha Dharma. Do not pass your days and nights in vain, which is a quote that you can also find, I think it was the Sando Kai, which is a text which is often recited in the Soto school in Japan. Use your time. You will never know when the game will end. So use this day that you have right now. You met the Buddha way in this life. And again, from the Buddhist point of view, that's a very rare opportunity to be born into this world as a human being at an age where Buddhism exists. But now you have met the Buddha way in this life. How could you waste your time delighting in sparks from a flintstone? So everything is impermanent. And for example, we earn money, we eat something delicious, we meet with a beautiful girl, with a pretty boy. But all of that are like sparks from a flintstone. It's really nothing that we can keep. So why would you waste your time chasing for things like that? And you could even include like enlightenment experience. You might have an enlightenment experience and you feel great at the time. Wow, now I finally got it. But then 3 years later, it's just a memory. Don't chase even after such experiences. It's just like delights. Delighting in sparks from a flintstone, even enlightenment experiences. Form and substance are like the dew on the grass. Dew on the grass is a metaphor often used for something that's impermanent. When the sun rises, it will evaporate. The fortunes of life, like a dart of lightning, which is, again, quite similar to sparks from a flintstone. Dart of lightning, emptied in an instant, vanished in a flash. I think vanishing in a flash is referring to the dart of lightning, while emptied in an instant is referring to the dew on the grass. And a drop of dew, of course, is not so much emptied, but is evaporating. So probably evaporating would be a better translation here. Although in the original it actually says here the character is for ku, for emptiness or void. So the translation here is quite literal. Please, honored followers of Zen, long accustomed to groping for the elephant, do not doubt the true dragon. That story of the elephant, I think, is quite famous. It's a story that appears in the old Buddhist sutras. I think it was a king or so who had an elephant, and he asks for blind people to tell him how they understand that elephant. And one person is touching the leg of the elephant and says, oh, now I understand, an elephant is like a tree. Another one is touching the nose and says, no, it's more like a fire hose. And the third elephant, the third beggar, the third blind person is touching the tail of the elephant and says, no, it's more like a broom. And the fourth blind person is touching the ear and it says, no, it's like a huge banana leaf. And so none of these blind persons really understood the whole thing. And in this case, I think it's a metaphor of understanding Zen, like for example, from books. I read in a book by Thich Nhat Hanh, or I heard that Muho said last Monday, but the Dalai Lama said something different. So we have all these hearsay information, but meeting the true dragon means to understand, oh, it's about me. When you understand, oh, this is about me, that's kind of what Dogen Zenji says here. At first, Buddha Dharma is something for you that you hear about, that you read about. But finally, you understand, no, it's about me. It's about my whole life experience at this precise moment. Do not doubt the true dragon. Devote your energies to the way that points directly to the real thing. And again, the real thing, that's you. You. It's all about you. Revere the one who has gone beyond learning and is free from effort, which would be in Japanese, Zetsugaku Mui no Hito. And this is a quote from the Shodoka, the Song of Enlightenment, also an old Chinese sutra. It starts with this, don't you see that one person of leisure who has gone beyond learning and doing? Mui is in Chinese Wu Wei, non-doing. And again, who's this one? Is it the Buddha? Is it Bodhidharma? No, of course it's you. It's that aspect of you that Rinzai calls the true person without rank. It's just that we are so busy kind of playing that person who has a rank, who has a name, a face, nationality, a gender. In my case, this Muho. Most of the time we're so busy playing this person that has an identity and a rank that we completely forget about that aspect of ourselves which has no face, no name, no gender, no nationality. When you look at the mirror and you say, oh, that's me in the mirror, you forget that you're at the same time you're the seeing, you're the whole mirror. Most of the time we identify so much with the person in the mirror that we forget that we're also at the same time we're the whole mirror. And that aspect of ourselves, the mirror in itself, that doesn't have to play a role in the play, so to speak, that doesn't have to play in the game. That's the one who has gone beyond learning and is free from effort. Share the wisdom of Buddhas with Buddhas. Transmit the samadhi of patriarchs to patriarchs. I'm not quite sure where I found this translation. It's probably quite old, because today you would say ancestor, because historically at the time of Dogen, almost all of the Buddhist ancestors were male, but of course there's no rule that they have to be male. Actually, they can be male or female. Gender and sex don't play a role, and therefore today we usually say ancestors. Transmit the samadhi of ancestors to ancestors. Continue to live in such a way, and you will be such a person. There was a similar phrase at the beginning. In Chinese, it would be here. If you long for this thing, then practice in this way. And the word which is translated as such would be, in Japanese, it would be immo. You would read it immo. It's also the title of a Shobogenzo chapter. It means this, that, thus, in such a way, but it can also mean suchness. So if you want to get into contact with suchness, if you aim at suchness, just practice suchness. Just be it. Practice just being such, and you will get in contact with suchness. You will be the person of suchness. The treasure store will open of itself. The treasure store, of course, means your Buddha nature. Where's the treasure store? Here and now. Here and now. You're already it. You're already it. It is up to you to use it freely. You just have to practice it. It's like where do I have it? The fan. Here it is. You're already in possession. You're already in possession of the fan. You already got it. It's just that, well, you only have to use it, and you will feel the wind of Buddha. You're already there. You're already there. It's only that you have to practice as you're already a Buddha. The only thing you need to do now is to live as a Buddha. Live it. Live your Buddha nature. It's not that you have to look for your Buddha nature somewhere. It's not hidden somewhere. It's only up to you to practice it. So yeah, today I talked a little bit longer because I wanted to get to the end. Schwanzan, after translating, maybe you can ask questions. Okay.
老师今天把后面部分全都讲完了，然后中间有几个其实字儿我不大认识啊，我给你们先读一下，好多繁体字啊，后面最后一段儿。然后老师刚刚应该是从若一不错，当面错过，应该是从这儿开始啊。既得人身之机要，莫虚度光阴，保任佛道之要机，谁浪月石火加以行至如草露，欲运命似光电，这字儿不大认识啊。勿变恐，什么勿虚济失，宜其参学光流，酒席摸象，勿意真龙，真指端地之道精进，尊贵久学无为之人。后面那个字儿不认识啊，和什么佛不太认识啊。佛菩提，第四祖三位，九是任魔，虚是任魔，宝藏自开，受用如意也。就是大概其呢，老师大概其的意思就是，前面他讲到坐禅，其实一个核心是我们要回到现在，就是你要真的生活到你现在生活到的这个地方，你现在在哪里？要回到现在。然后他前面讲的若一不错，其实也是指的是，就是 往前走一步，往前走一步的人，比如说你往前走一步开始练习，然后你往前又走了一步，我们有的时候会认为，这些就是入定的人，或者说好像有神奇魔力的人，他们不是一般的常人一样。其实道安禅师在这儿讲的是，他其实和你一样，也是普通人，就是好像你在拐角处遇到的一个普通人，你可能根本就不会注意到他这样一个普普通通的人，他没有什么神秘的，只是他开始练习了。然后，我们有的时候大家可能很排斥地狱，或者都想去天堂。其实，在地狱有的时候，你可能在地狱的时候，你会更多的反思，你可能会想一些事情，就是你会更多反思；而在天堂，反而不见得就是一件好事情，可能更不容易，因为你可能习惯了一直的这个天堂的环境，然后你不会想为什么我会在这里，然后现在到底是怎么样的。所以其实不在于外在的这些条件和因素。然后后面老师还讲到了，就是我们这一生这一世可以作为人，其实是非常幸运的，应该珍惜你现在就有的，而不是去抱怨我要去天堂或者是去地狱。我们可以和佛的这条路相遇，我们可以学习他的道路，可以用它，我们其实是很幸运的。然后要用我们这一生的时间去琢磨佛，就是他的一些佛法。那其实特别有用的一个，就很有价值的，就是我们要知道现在，然后是佛的道路，不要虚度光阴。后面老师讲的，既得人身之机要，就是说你应该非常感激你现在生而为人，有了现在这个机遇，可以走到佛的这条道路上是非常幸运的。莫虚度光阴，不要每天还在不停的寻找，还在不停的问，不停的找，其实你已经跟他相遇了，不要虚度你的时间，还要好像要参透什么佛有什么什么机要一样，好像你要想参透它有什么玄机一样，不要浪费你这些光阴。然后后面再讲的，谁浪月识火，加以行之如草露啊，就是这些运命似光电。后面讲了，其实这些他说的识火、草露还有光电，其实都是一闪而过的。就是不管，就好像我们在学就是你好像想找到一个什么法门，或者说我们现在经常我们都沉迷，比如说金钱，或者是地位，或者是美女，或者是你想要的一切外在的一些事情哈。其实它就像那个浪月识火，然后就像那个草露一样，都不是长久的，而且也保存不了。因为就好像我们坐禅一样，有的时候你非常想要找到入定的感觉啊，想要找到萨玛迪的感觉，但其实，这种感觉它也不是长久的，因为3年之后，你可能想起来的只是一个回忆，你不可能一直在这个地方，你保存不了它。就好像这个识火，或者是命运似光电，人生是非常快的，你也不可能永远保存在这儿。然后后面他讲到了一个，就是我们都很熟悉的一个盲人摸象的一个典故啊。后面讲的，就是你要想学到这些佛法或者教义啊，他学什么这个字儿不大认识啊，应该是仪吧，仪其参学高流酒席摸象。他这个摸象呢，指的就是指的盲人摸象，就是那个故事啊，就是有一个好多盲人去摸象嘛，一个有名的国王。然后一个人摸到他的腿呢，就说啊，这个大象好像树一样。然后另外一个人摸到他的鼻子，说啊，它好像火炉一样哈。另外一个人摸到他的尾巴，就好像说，哎，它好像是像那个大象好像是像扫把一样。然后另外一个人呢，摸到了象的耳朵，就好说啊，大象好像像香蕉叶一样。那其实我们都知道这个故事啊，其实这些人他虽然都摸到了大象，但是没有一个人真正说出了大象是什么样子的。 也没有人真的明白到底什么是大象。其实就好像是这样的，我们一直好像想参透、想摸透它什么，其实没有人是真正知道了。不管你是看书学，听吴芳老师讲课，或者是你通过各种渠道哈，知道这些信息，或者好像你是知道了、学到了什么，就好像盲人摸象一样，你确实是知道了一些什么，你也学到了什么，但是这都不是真龙。他后面讲到了一个真龙哈，他讲到了这个字儿我也不大认识啊，这个物应该是意啊，什么物在真龙，物什么真龙啊，就是说其实这个真龙指的就是你我。或者我们用第一人称来说，就是我或者是你啊，是关于自己的，因为只有你真正遇到了这个真龙，你开始练习之后见过真龙，你才知道原来它是什么。没有练习的经验，没有见过真龙，你只是看书听别人说，或者你觉得你好像知道了，其实你不知道。所以这个真正的真龙就是你自己，或者我们说是我们自己本身。然后后面老师还讲到了，后面他还那个尊贵绝学无为之人，你看他这边也有一个无为啊，无为之人就是和我们就是中国传统文化里面讲的那个，你看他说的是尊贵绝学之人，都是这些无为的人，这些无为就是说他什么都不做，真正有得到绝学，或者说他很厉害的，我们讲到很追根很厉害这些人呢，其实都不是说他真的做了什么，他都是无为之人。你看我们有的时候，刚刚老师举了一个例子啊，就是说我们有的时候，总是忘了，总是看不见你是谁。就比如说我是老师，然后我们有的时候会忘记，我们是一个其实是没有面孔、没有名字、也没有国籍的，我们只是一个人。就好像照镜子的时候，你看到了镜子里面那个自己，你忘了，其实你也是镜子。就是当你看到镜子里面的自己的时候，你是通过了镜子的过滤的，你忘了，其实你在看的时候，你也是带着一个就是我们比如说屏幕在看的，虽然你看到了，但是你是带着屏幕在看的，其实你忘了，你不用带屏幕，你真正感受自己没有那面镜子的时候，你真正感受自己的时候。那个你没有面孔、没有名字、没有国籍的人，才真正是你自己。所以，我们其实看的时候，你看到了自己，但是你忘了我们其实也是那面镜子。然后后面他讲到了，就是什么这个我都不大认识这些字儿啊。然后久视任磨，虚是任磨。后面讲，其实我们老师刚才讲到了有一些东西是在努力之外的。就是老师刚才我们说的那个镜子嘛，好像我们一直在玩那个游戏。其实真的有一些事情是在你努力之外的。然后我的理解就是我觉得就是你的认知，一个人的认知的高度，它其实真的是你努力之外，或者是你知道多少东西之外的。这些认知只能是通过自己见到真龙之后你才能明白的。所以后面他讲到了久视任磨，虚实任磨，就是你怎么学你就怎么练，你只有在练当中才能明白你是怎么学的，在怎么学就怎么练，而不是去学，不是去通过学来学它学是什么，你要通过练来知道学是什么。久视任磨，虚实任磨，就是它是怎么，就是你久视任磨就怎么这么学的，那你就这么练，你就必须要，你需要是这么练。宝藏最后它结尾是宝藏自开，然后受用如意也。我觉得最后这句话写的特别好，就是其实它这里面宝藏英文它翻译是刚刚老师说的，就是你只需要在这里，你不需要描绘它，你不需要描述它，因为宝藏自开。然后虚用如意，我们应该做的就是需要练习，不需要描绘，也不需要描述，就是你没有必要，就好像有的时候大家提问题啊，就是我的说的啊，就有时候大家提问题啊，其实有的时候你真的没有必要描述它，因为你描述也只是客观上面的描述啊，你只有在直观或者身体上面的一个体会，你才能知道它到底是怎么回事儿。然后老师刚才举了个例子，他把扇子拿起来了嘛，他就说好像这个扇子一样，你看，你其实有这把扇子，你只需要把这把扇子扇起来，你就可以有风，你没有必要 学啊，这是什么样的扇子，看这个扇子是怎么样的。其实你已经有这把扇子了，你要做的就是把扇子扇起来，你就可以得到风，而不是说我怎么才能得到风？有个扇子，我应该怎么有风？到底怎么有风？是什么样的扇子？不应该学这个扇子，你做的应该是扇风，就好像，佛他一直都在这儿，他已经告诉我们了。其实你坐下来坐禅，你需要练习，就好像这把扇子一样，你把扇子扇起来，就可以得到想要的风。大概是这个意思啊，大家有问题可以提。
Thank you. So we have time for questions. If you have any, please ask or share. Any questions? Yes, Julian, please.
First of all, I just wanted to say again, thanks for taking us through the Fukan Zazengi step by step. I find it really useful and really valuable. So thank you. And I just wondered if personally, you and I are older than Dogen when he died, I believe. Do you feel as you get older an increased sense of urgency to practice, or are you kind of relaxing into that process? I just wondered how you feel.
I mean, yeah, Dogen died in our calculation, Western calculation, when he was 53. The Japanese and probably also the Chinese, often they add 1 year, so it's 54. Anyway, when I got to that age, I kind of, it reminded me of how little I had achieved in my life compared to Dogen. On the other hand, it would be kind of an exaggeration to say now I feel an urge, because I don't really feel that I will ever get to that point where I will write my own Shobogenzo, or I will build my own Eheji in a way. Well, I might still have another 30 years or so to go, and I hope to do something, whatever, during this 30 years. But at this point, I mean, I was very lucky to find Antaiji, to meet my teacher there, and then it was a great honor to be responsible for the place. And 4 or 5 years ago, to find a woman that was ready to take the next responsibility. So I think now that Antaiji is in good hands. So in that respect, I feel that I've done my job. So even if I would die tomorrow, I wouldn't have the feeling, oh, but there's so much left that I wanted to do. Of course, I hope to do a little bit more, but I don't feel this urge, I have to do more, or I have to get into a hurry so that I somehow reach Dogen. I will never, and of course it was never my aim to become a second Dogen. Joseph also is raising his hand.
Yeah, also thank you for going through this text line by line over however many months we've spent on it. I've also really enjoyed it. I wanted to ask about the very final sentence. That you often say, the teacher often said that Zazen is good for nothing. But then at the end, we're told that a treasure store will open and that it's up to us to use it. What does it mean to use something that's good for nothing?
Yeah, I mean, the metaphor I use, of course, it's Dogen's metaphor from the Genjo Koan. What's the use of doing this when you're already in the middle of the air? Or you could say, for example, what's the use of living this one day of your life? It's just another day out of probably 30,000, and you will die anyway. What's the use of tasting that sip of coffee that you might taste in the morning? What's the use of, well, looking out at night at the stars? there's no use to it. But on the other hand, it's all you have. It's all you have. It's everything, you could say. It's everything. If you don't taste that one sip of coffee, you lose everything. If you don't see the stars out there. So the treasure house means, well, I said Buddha nature. It means kind of the full manifestation of what you have here and now. It's already there. It's not that you have to travel far or make a big effort to get there. You're already there. It's up to you to use it. It's up to you to taste the coffee or the tea. It's up to you to either see the stars or be somewhere else. But if somebody would ask you or me or Sawaki Roshi, but what is it good for? It's good for nothing. If you're in this, what is it good for mode, you're still looking for something. So I see the stars there, but what are they good for? I can taste the coffee, but what is it good for? It's good for nothing. Taste it. These stars are good for nothing, but just enjoy them. Adore them. I think that's the point. And the point of Sawaki Roshi always kind of bringing back this point, it's good for nothing, is to get you out of this. But I want it to be good for something. If it's not good for anything, why would I do it? Do it because it's good for nothing. Adore the stars because they're just there, good for nothing, or the flower or the butterfly or the bird that sings. What meaning has the song of the bird? It has no meaning. That's why it's so beautiful. So much more beautiful than the voice of somebody on TV. What they say has a meaning. Songs have a meaning. And the bird song, we enjoy it because it has no meaning. That makes it so beautiful. Bernard, please.
Again, also thank you for this journey with the Fukan Sasengi. I really enjoyed it. And also thank you, Shram, for the translation. Also great effort. I also get a chance to practice Chinese, and so yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you for joining. Next time I get back to Sawaki Roshi's quotes, but then maybe in 2 weeks I'm gonna start with a Heart Sutra or something new. I was thinking about the Heart Sutra. Anything else that you would like to ask or share? Joseph, to everyone. Thank you, Xuan. Yeah, thank you from my side as well. Anything else? If not, it's already 5 minutes past 9 here in Japan. So if you have no more questions, I would like to thank you. Next week, again, same time, same spot, Sawaki's quotes, and then in 2 weeks, probably the Heart Sutra. Yeah, in 2 weeks, Monday, I should be here. Yeah. So thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you, Xuan-san, for hosting us, bringing us together. See you again. Have a nice week.
Bye.